All right, so here's a quick video explaining to you the notches on a Glock trigger bar on the bird's beak. So we have three notches. We have one here, we have one there, and we have one up top. So there's three here that all play an important role. So we have a Gen 3 trigger housing. I just have a Gen 5 ejector installed in this one. So this first notch right here, this one is going to work in conjunction with your trigger housing right here, okay? And you can see you have raised polymer here on the trigger housing, and it comes to this angle where we meet the connector. What we're going to see is that notch provides a nice tight fit. So we pull the trigger, it comes along, hits the angle of the connector, and boom, it comes down, right? Comes right into that area, and it's nice and tight because that relief cut, that notch there, is making that a nice tight fit. So again, you're on top of the shelf and pulling the trigger, coming back, hitting the angle of the connector, and then down, right? And then it sits right into that relief cut. Now, your unsafe clone triggers, the stuff that these scammers try to sell you, is completely straight. It's got no notches on it. It looks the same, like a, like an OEM trigger, except it's an unsafe knockoff, right? So it doesn't have anything. So what happens here is this comes in, it comes across, and it's all loosey-goosey, see? Right? This is why people have the gun keep firing, it's loose, it slips, it doesn't reset. Now the top notches, so you have a bottom notch and you have a top notch, and those two work in conjunction with each other. You can see they're slightly offset. They're not like one right below the other, right? It's not in direct line. Well, the reason why that occurs is because inside your Glock frame, you have this piece of raised polymer right there, okay? And so what happens is your trigger bars in there, and right on that raised polymer, those relief cuts are helping you come across and up with the reset, right? And the raised polymer runs all the way down to the bottom where the trigger housing is. So when this is in a trigger housing, it's obviously nice and tight, and it's perfectly form fitted there, and it's a nice hard tight fit in there. See? And that raised polymer is right in there, right on the reset of it. So those relief cuts play an extremely important role. Obviously, we don't have the spring in here. Okay, this is just for demonstration purposes. But when this is all in the back, this top notch cut right there, along with the bottom one, are going to sit right on that raised polymer, just like that. So when it comes back, it's guided back, boom, fires, comes up, and resets, just like that, okay? And so all three of those relief cuts play a very important role, not only here in the functionality, make sure everything's nice and tight, but with the reset. It's why we see so many like multiple round bursts with these fake triggers, because they don't have these cuts. It's just staying in the fired position and causing, really unsafe, really unsafe practices using this type of trigger bar. So you want to stay away from it. Unfortunately, they have flooded the market with these junk triggers and trying to pass them off in OEM kits as an, a Glock 19, Glock 26 trigger, but it is not, okay? And this is just one of the reasons why it's unsafe. I mean, look at the trigger spring hole. I mean, that's terrible, right? So the spring itself, comes in here. There wasn't even an attempt to make this safe. I mean, look, it's got no seating to it. It's just one big circle, right? I mean, garbage. Take a look at an actual OEM. You can see it's very precision made, right? You got the angle and the bend. Let me put them up side by side so you can see it. This is the OEM. You got the angle and the bend there, and then your two little bump outs, and then your eyelet, your hook sits right in there, nice and tight and perfect. You can see it's an oblong shape that comes in. That again is bumped out. This one's just straight down and just a hole punch out, making this all loose. That's why we see a lot of broken springs too. I mean, in addition to the fact that in the kit they sell you a fake spring as well. But on the OEM, you know, this is a nice tight fit. This is how it's supposed to be, guys, right? This is exactly how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to come in and sit right in that middle portion, right? Sitting right in there. Okay? So, bang, just like that. It's got a seat for it. It's got the bump outs. It's perfectly contoured. Then the other end goes into your trigger housing, as you know, right? Let me see. I have a fake spring around here too somewhere that they send with the kits. Not really sure where I put it. Oh, here's one right here. Yeah, I mean, junk. Look at this thing. All right, look how bent it is, right? So, you know, you really have to, you know, follow along with the things that we're teaching you. Not just because it's a terrible thing that you get deceived, but we want you to be safe, right? So an OEM spring is the same on either side, right? It's a perfect S. This is all bent out of shape, right? I mean, look, right? Like this is pointing this way, that's pointing that way. It's all messed up. It does not create that perfect S loop on either side, okay? So these are garbage as well. And again, this is just another piece that's coming in your kit, causing you even more problems because you're using it in conjunction with this nonsense, right? With this stuff. So anyway, that's today's chat.